brilliance of The Handmaid's Tale is how they portray the women who were in support of
this creator's take on episode 9 of The Handmaid's Tale is great. In fact, I don't think very many people talk about the fact that these women, well, Serena represents the women. It also represents the women, like the Trump voters, who voted to give away their power, essentially. And then they learn that they can't ever get their power back. So, the way she explains it is great. Go back and watch this video. But this episode also shows what is necessary. Actually, the whole series shows what is necessary to fight back. And I don't think America is there yet. But that's how deep it has to go before. You don't really want it to go that deep before you fight back. But anyway, that's besides the point. The other thing that this series shows is that there's a cooperation between Canada and the rebellion group. Now, in real life, this is not going to happen. And other countries are not going to come to America's rescue. This fight has to happen from within. Look at every other country who's been through this and how they've gotten out of it. It's bloody, it's ugly, and it's long. But in the end, it's worth it. Ukraine is a good example how they finally eradicated themselves from Russian rule, and then of course they were invaded, but it shows you exactly what's at stake. And I guess one of the disadvantages of living in North America is we're kind of isolated from the main playground of war. So we don't actually ever experience firsthand what some of these other countries see on a daily basis or every few years. And that puts us at a disadvantage in a sense of survival mode and how we need to think about our futures and what's important in life. It's not important to have, the Dior dress or whatever, or the Dior bag, or even, the most expensive meat to eat for your supper. What's important is that you actually have water, a roof over your head, and food to eat. Those are the only things that count. Anything else is a bonus. But you don't get that feeling unless you have lived in adversity. And yeah, it's such an interesting time to watch what's happening and how, I know even in Canada, those of us who didn't have family that fought in the war, in World War II, haven't been exposed to some of the mindsets. Like obviously I wasn't alive back then, but the mindset of that era where you save, you don't buy anything unless you can pay cash for it. My dad stocked up on toilet paper every time he went shopping. Every single week when he went to Safeway, he would buy two rolls of toilet paper. If he went down in her basement, it was literally wall-to-wall Kleenex and toilet paper. And one of the reasons why is because it wasn't available during the war. So if anything ever happened, but the thing is today, as we saw during COVID, we're not going to run out because we actually make the toilet paper here in Canada. So so not so much worried. But during wartime, it's quite different. And I kind of like what's happening on the global scale from Europe and Canada and all the other countries banding together. So it really pains me to see what's happening down south to my friends in America, because there's only one thing you can do, and it's, you're seeing it every day in the news in other countries of what people are doing to fight back, and the fact that you can't see that you are in it is I understand that because, you know, having coming from a domestic violence background, you don't know that you're in these situations until it's too late. And getting out of them is half the battle, right? So anyway, sending good luck to my neighbors down south, and I'm just so happy that the rest of the world has kind of woken up that we can't, nobody, not even America, can afford to put all their eggs in one basket. So you have to diversify everything. So if you're a business, you don't have one supplier for all your stuff, because if something happens to that supplier, you're out of business. And that's kind of what the world has done with America. So this instability, while it's scary as hell, and we don't know what the future is, and it's kind of emboldened all the worst of mankind. On the positive side, it's shown us that, you know, we got to start changing our ways. We have to think about, if we want to survive the future, we've got to do stuff differently. So anyway, it's just a rant. I just thought that The Handmaid's Tale was such a great example of how survival, really, it's surviving against depression, and it takes you inside from the perspective of the people that are actually most affected. So that's what I love about this series. And I think that if you haven't seen the series, I know in Canada here we have it on Crave, it's on cable. I'm not sure what channel, but I think Prime has it too. So it is available out there to see. You try and binge it when you can, because it shows you how it starts and how it finishes, I guess. I don't know what the next episode is going to show, but anyway, that's my long commentary for the day. I haven't done a long commentary for a while, so anyway, have a good week or weekend.